The following is a presentation of Spring Hill Sports Live. It's time for Spring Hill High School Athletics. On your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by It's time for the Broncos, right here on your home for Spring Hill High School Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome, Broncos fans, to Spring Hill Sports Live, second straight Monday. We've got girls soccer action coming your way. Pioneers from Leavenworth in town, taking on your Spring Hill Broncos right here in Spring Hill. Now, this one originally scheduled for a 6 p.m. start. We had a rescheduled JV contest and 12 minutes to go here until we get this one underway. Alex Smith here with Tristan Jordan, Caden Garbajo on the camera. And for the Broncos, it's been kind of a mixed bag, that league season and that non-league season. They've had pretty different results, but a chance to change that against the Leavenworth side coming in struggling this evening.
Yes, most definitely, yeah. So one of the things that we are definitely looking at with the schedule for the Broncos is they are trying to diversify their season with, as they are the only 5A team in their Frontier League, which is comprised of all 4A teams, or schools rather. So something that we are seeing more since the introduction of Eric Schwartz as the head coach at Spring Hill High School is the addition of more 6A schools, which we will see again tonight. Now, Spring Hill's record against 6A schools this season has not been great. They have not won against the 6A school yet. That should change tonight.
So Spring Hill, they come in 3-3 and the single draw, 1-6 for the Pioneers. Again, some uneven scorelines too for Leavenworth, a team that Spring Hill tied 3-3 in DeSoto. Not so hot for the Pioneers. Lost that one 9-0, so could be many, many goals on the scoreboard for Spring Hill. We'll have all that action and some more preview coming up next. You are watching the pregame show, which is brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, locally owned and operated for more than 20 years. Comfort Design is Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Learn more at comfortdesigns.net or call 913-592-4453. Back after this.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com.
Cardinal Glass in Spring Hill is now hiring. Cardinal Glass is a great place to land, with immediate openings for production technician, starting at $19.01 with a $1 premium for evening hours. Also hiring warehouse and maintenance technicians. Cardinal Glass provides competitive wages and great benefits, including medical, dental, life, health savings, and monthly profit sharing. Call 913-592-6100. Walk-ins are welcome at their facility on North Webster Road in Spring Hill, or visit them online at cardinalcorp.com. Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net. Or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Welcome back to Spring Hill, your pregame show brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. Now, we talk about the Pioneers struggling, the Broncos, a chance, of course, to pile up some goals today, and that means a couple of players that maybe haven't been quite firing on all cylinders, whether that be due to just personal performance or potentially injury comebacks, looking for a couple of those names to really get on track here as we head toward the middle and then latter portions of this season, Tristan.
Most definitely, yeah. 3 players to highlight. Kenna Riles is coming back from an illness. She's been out for a couple of weeks, but she most definitely has the potential to solidify herself as a starter in this lineup. So we're going to be looking for number 5 for Spring Hill, Kenna Riles, trying to see if the junior can bring herself back into that starting lineup. Another one that the coaching staff actually highlighted was Veronica Ronnie Ferris, one of the Ferris twins. She's been pretty decent this season, but they believe that she has far more potential than what she has shown early in the season. She's had a couple of goals here and there. I think she's on 3 or 4 on the season, but that just speaks to how much quality she has the ceiling to bring to this squad. If the coaching staff is trying to say that a 4-goal scorer has even more to bring to the table. And the last one is Peyton Vogelbacher. We've highlighted her numerous times on last Monday's broadcast as that target forward with that pace who has the dynamacy to push forward into the attack and really generate things other than just hold-up play. But she was actually pulled out of the match on Thursday of last week against Eudora because she had piercing, I believe it was a nose ring that was not able to come out, so she was forced to sit on the sideline. So we're going to definitely be looking for a bit of a revenge match in her eyes tonight.
Just keeping her off the field, we'll be thankful to just be out there. You really see everything covering sports on this level, and that is certainly no different. The keys to the game are brought to you by Spring Hill Chiropractic and Acupuncture. The key to a better quality of life is making a Spring Hill Chiropractic part of your health and wellness plan. Dr. Daniel Harding strives to make it easy and affordable as possible to get the care you need for the whole family. Learn more at springhillchiropractor.com or call 913-592-3541. One more break, and then we do have starting lineups available to us. We'll be right back here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Auction Bank community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
You've been in there over 30 minutes. You don't pay the water bill, get out.
Wouldn't it be great if you could control your internet usage like other utilities?
I can.
No, I mean if you could control how much usage there was so you could save yourself money, like with water.
Yeah, I know, I already can with Go Brawly.
Oh, well, now you can. With the all-new app from Go Brawly, you'll have complete control from anywhere. Visit gobrawly.com to learn more.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your local Bobcat mower dealer. Bobcat mowers combine heavy gauge steel with advanced engineering to give you the best cut every time. Simple controls and design make maintenance and service quick and easy. And when you get your Bobcat at Hers, they can complete all service and repairs covered by your warranty. Bobcat mowers are affordable, giving you a commercial grade machine at a residential price. To learn more,
come and visit us at hersinc.net. Call Hers at
913-247-3530.
Welcome back to Spring Hill Sports Live, second straight Monday, running with Alex Smith, Tristan Jordan, and Caden Carbajo. We have the full starting 11s for both sides, but first, the starting lineups are brought to you by America's Heartland Collection. From antiques to live plants, you never know what you're going to find. To add to your own personal collection, let us spark your curiosity at America's Heartland Collection, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5 at 305 South Webster. We'll start with the Pioneers. They do come in here 1 and 6. The 6A Pioneers are going to start Brooke Collins, Sophia Austin, Emma Torres, Alice Maddox, Addison Manley, Nawintama Bagoshba, Avi Garrett, Sierra Johnson, Sarah Ward, Reagan Avilas, and Isa Lazoya. Interested to see how this Pioneer team just tries to kind of withstand the storm here, as they've unfortunately become accustomed to doing throughout the year.
And the team who we are expecting to be on the attacking foot this evening are the hosts, the Spring Hill High School Broncos. Their starting lineup is as follows. Number 0, Avery Young will be in net. Number 1, Kate Milroy. Number 2, Veronica Ronnie Ferris. Number 6, Jessica Rousseau. Number 10, Isabella Ferris. Number 11, Molly Murray. Number 12, Mackenzie Hood and captain. Number 14, Olivia Infante. Number 16, Reagan Downs, also a captain. The final captain, number 17, Brooke Powell. And up top, number 20, Peyton Vogelbacher, who again will be looking to get some goals in this match.
Well, we've got that issue from Thursday solved. It seems like we'll see her for at least the majority of this one. Just 30 seconds remaining. Thanks for hanging with us here on the Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show. We'll be right back with opening kickoff right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
The industry's most advanced equipment and training, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and the small-town friendly service you expect. That's J&T Auto Service in Spring Hill. Eliminate the veil of uncertainty with J&T Auto's digital diagnostic process. This unique service ensures transparency, clear communication, and documentation, allowing for a quick and complete repair. To learn more or to schedule an appointment, call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com. Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit. When it comes to helping people with their finances, a cookie-cutter approach doesn't work. That's why you need Kim Thompson at Prudential Financial in Spring Hill. Kim knows that everyone's different. She'll listen to you and discuss your hopes and dreams, allowing you to focus on what's important. At Kim Thompson Financial, they focus on protecting your family, saving for retirement, living in retirement, financial strategy, saving for education. Your locally owned hometown Allstate agent is Libby Clark, now at her new location in downtown Spring Hill. Libby and her staff are passionate about the people they serve, helping them protect what matters most. With 24-hour customer service and options for online and in-person appointments, the Libby Clark Agency is the small-town agent you've grown to love, with the experience and products you'd expect from an industry-recognized premier agency. Visit them at their new location in downtown Spring Hill, just one block off Main on Hale, or call 913-686-6205.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you, one conversation at a time. And we're as committed as ever to providing you with that level of service. As part of your community, we're here for you, answering insurance questions and helping make sure your financial goals are on track.
Contact Farm Bureau Financial Agent Michael Gran anytime or learn more at michaelgran.com.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health. Advanced healthcare. Advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine. Make an appointment today.
Pankey Plumbing in Spring Hill is a proud supporter of Bronco Athletics. Keeping your plumbing system in good shape can do wonders for your property's value and lifespan. Get exceptional plumbing services when you hire the plumbing specialist at Pankey Plumbing. At Pankey Plumbing, they take pride in their work and guarantee the best plumbing services in the shortest time possible at the most reasonable price. To learn more, give them a call at 913-568-8201 or visit PankeyPlumbing.com. Go Broncos!
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stowe with Paola Veterinary Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown vets who know and care about your family. Coming soon, a new location here in Paola in the industrial park with cattle hauling and boarding and grooming. With 24-hour emergency services and 3 other locations in Lewisburg, Drexel, and Martin City, and a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
Welcome back to Spring Hill Sports Live. Kickoff just moments away with 40 on the clock. And I'm going to flip it over to Tristan for the keys to the game, but not before I let you know they are brought to you by Spring Hill Chiropractic and Acupuncture. The key to a better life is making Spring Hill Chiropractic part of your health and wellness plan. Dr. Daniel Harding strives to make it easy and affordable as possible to get the care you need for the whole family. Learn more at springhillchiropractor.com or call 913-592-3541. Now, we've talked a little bit about the individuals we want to see get involved. What do we have for team play in terms of keys to the game here in a match where we expect the Broncos to be massively favored?
Absolutely. So last week on Monday, we discussed in the matchup with Blue Valley North that the Broncos in halftime, their 3 keys at that point was to win the midfield, get better first touches, maintain that possession, keep that solidity in the midfield, win those 50-50 duels. The second point was to maintain defensive solidity. A lot of times with this Spring Hill team, you'll see Hood push into the attack. You'll see Powell push into the attack. Those are both of your really strong physical center backs, and it's not always the best idea to have both of them up at the same time. So maintaining that communication and the solid defensive structure. And then the third and arguably most important point is the mentality. And all three of these keys continue into this match. You want to make sure that that mentality doesn't get in your head. Peyton Vogelbacher was struggling with not being on the better end of those calls in that match on Monday, and then on Thursday she was pulled out due to the nose ring. So it'll definitely be important for her to come into this match with a fresh head.
So the opening kickoff here is brought to you by Seats Incorporated. Kick off your new career with Seats Incorporated in Spring Hill. Seats is a leader in the manufacturing of quality seating and accessories for vehicles with competitive wages and benefits. To see all their openings or to apply online, go to seatsinc.com. And Spring Hill Bronco fans now in their seats here at the Activity Center as we are underway between the Leavenworth Pioneers and your Broncos.
Yeah, so early on in this match, you'll notice it's really sunny, but if you're looking at the ponytails of the players down there, it's awfully windy. That is an 11-mile-per-hour wind gust coming in, angled at the southeast. We're also at a temperature of 55 right now. It feels like it's 52.
And an early goal scored first by the Broncos.
Looked like that was Kate Milroy.
My goodness. Just moments into this one, 40 seconds into the match. In fact, the Broncos steam ahead. And good spot there as number 1 Milroy puts it home in the first minute of the contest.
On last Monday, Blue Valley North, for those of you who joined us for that matchup, they had a goal in the first minute. And in talking with the coaching staff after the match last week, as Spring Hill gets another opportunity.
Here they come. It's Vogelbacher on the right side, cutting back into the left. Recovering defender had it for a moment. Now the left-footed shot from Vogelbacher rolls along the floor and is collected by the Leavenworth keeper.
Having a discussion with the coaching staff, as I was mentioning last week after the match, the coaches really emphasized that prom was the previous weekend. And so in that first half, they allowed a goal in the first minute, and then they started to settle into it, but they were still struggling with those first touches, that communication on the pitch. And something that they said was that a lot of those players still had their head at the dance. They were still at prom mentally. So it was their job at halftime as the coaches to really shake them out of prom and put them onto the pitch where they needed to be.
See, they thought they were kind of delivering criticism there of their players as they said that to us. But to me, that's just a reminder as someone who, left the high school game myself a long time ago. That's a reminder of all the challenges these athletes face on and off the court and how they intersect as the Broncos surging down the right side. Here is Russo all alone as she enters the box. Had support in the middle, decided to go alone, and the angled shot was saved.
She did have Milroy and Vogelbacher crashing in on that penalty spot, ready for a cross if it were to be sent. Opted to go it alone, as you mentioned, and had that shot. Unfortunately for her, it was right at the keeper.
So about 2 minutes, 30 seconds gone, and already several opportunities for the Broncos on the score sheet. To get on the score sheet, I should say.
Nice 1-2 passing there. Ferris, the player in possession right now, is someone that we are supposed to be looking at having a comeback.
And as she surged into the box, just could not wrap the right boot around the maybe possible shot attempt, but more likely a cross. As all the action for the Broncos early coming down the right side as Bogoshba has kind of struggled to deal with that Bronco pressure.
In a conversation with the coaching staff before the match today, they mentioned that for Spring Hill, that is, the coaching staff, they mentioned that last week they switched to a back three on Thursday. Today, they are switching back to their 4-3-3 formation, so they're back to that four-woman back line with Hood and Powell in the center, and Murray and Rousseau, excuse me, I apologize for that stumble. Murray and Rousseau as the fullbacks, left and right, respectively.
And so you see them do that in a matchup where they expect to kind of dominate both in terms of possession and in goals. You normally think four at the back, more defensive, three, maybe less so. That's not always the case, but maybe the more attacking lineup today. Here is Ferris into the box. The right-footed shot gets around the keeper and makes it 2-0 Broncos.
And that is exactly what the coaching staff wanted to see out of Veronica Ronnie Ferris as she opens her account early in this match. That's her 5th goal on the season. She had 2 in the opener and 2 last week. So that's great to see her really starting to spark back and light that match under herself as the coaching staff has been wanting to see.
So second goal coming in minute number 3. The final dying seconds of the 3rd minute of the contest. And the Broncos already opening up an advantage here, as Ferris that time was just able to come back onto that right foot. Here, Ferris with another chance bearing down on goal, this time crossing into the middle. The shot is skied over the crossbar.
That was a great opportunity, something that we've seen at least 3 times now in every single one of these attacks. While Ferris has the ball on this near sideline, you also see Vogelbacher making that run down the middle, and she's been doing a really nice job watching down this midline. Both of them are towing that center back pair, that this right wing, just right on the edge of that back line, really pushing them as far against their own half as they can, trying to stretch that and get as much width there, ready for a pass from Ferris or Infante out of the midfield.
Leavenworth continuing to struggle to pass out the back, elected for the short game as an offside flag is going to come in.
And there's an example of when that attempt to stretch it early may not always pay off. Kate Milroy that time caught just on the wrong side of it, but that's great attempt there from Milroy, and it shows the promise in this Bronco attack, as if the 2 goals weren't a big enough testament already.
Leavenworth come forward with Vilas, who quickly lost it. And now Ferris once again with possession, now for Russo. Into the middle. Here is Vogelbacher, avoids the offside flag. Shot comes in, was on target, but keeper not beaten at that near post. Now, you kind of hear me throwing out the generic keeper for Leavenworth there. That's because they've got a player with double zeros out there. Nobody with double zeros on the roster. So a little... terms of how it's made with these broadcasts, that is what we deal with sometimes. But whoever's in there for Leavenworth, it could be a tough, long evening for them.
Especially with 2 goals already in the back of the net, as Spring Hill gets another corner here.
This one taken long into the center of the box, is punched away, kept alive, and right off the goal line.
That was almost an Olympico there from Reagan Downs, number 16, that attacking midfield role for her for Spring Hill this evening. She started in that 9 slot early in the season, and she and Vogelbacher ended up switching positions after the first or second home game against Blue Valley High School proper. The coaching staff decided that it was a bit of a different look to have the opportunity to flip them back and forth. They eventually settled with Vogelbacher at the 9 and Downs at the 10. Of course, the number 9 role is traditionally known as the striker, that furthest north attacking player, and then the number 10 is sort of that regista, that ball fancy skill. You'll see Messi playing that position. You'll see different guys like Diego Maradona if you're looking at the international games. So definitely look for some fancy footwork and maybe some really impressive passing out of Reagan Downs as she plays in that classic number 10 role.
Here they come down the right side. This time it is Vogelbacher. The right-footed shot into the side netting, as Vogelbacher had several options, but as she got closer and closer to the goal, you knew she was going to shoot it, just didn't know. Left foot, right foot, ended up picking the wrong option.
It's interesting goalkeeping decision there, not to come out and try to slide into that ball, claim it early, as the keeper allowed Vogelbacher to bring herself all the way within that 6-yard box before finally taking the strike and sending it wide.
Right now for Leavenworth, just a struggle to progress the ball beyond the midline as the Broncos come this time from the left side. Into the center for Vogelbacher. First touch gets around the defender, now for Ferris. Ferris's shot is just over the goal, and that looked destined for that top right corner. Everybody shooting near post now.
That initial cross off that far sideline, the Broncos' left side, was the fullback Molly Murray, number 11, for Spring Hill. She wasn't a starter at the beginning of the season, but due to some injuries and things, she's been forced into this starting lineup for the varsity squad, and she has really started to make that position her own. First couple of times she started in the position, there wasn't a whole lot to say, which honestly is a really good thing for a player who's just now making their start in the varsity lineup. As Spring Hill gets another opportunity here, Downs looking for a cross.
And has Vogelbacher in the middle, takes it on the right foot, shot away into the side netting, and makes it 3-0. Vogelbach's first, unlikely to be her last.
A phenomenal opportunity there as Downs was able to regain possession in the partnership with Kate Milroy as they pinched in on that right fullback, the far side defender for Leavenworth, and Spring Hill really just starting to lay it on thick and early here.
3-0 your score. The first 10 minutes have produced a trio of goals as Vogelbacher quickly again on the ball, playing a nice 1-2 and sending Milroy down the side. Keeper does come out this time, able to make the successful sliding challenge, not able to clear it though.
That's a much smarter play there from the goalkeeper. Definitely learned from her earlier mistake when facing off against Vogelbacher. This time it pays off. She will likely have to be called into that position again.
Russo, nice run in from deep. The cross heading to the back post is taken first time and converted by Kate Milroy. That was a beautiful delivery on the right-hand side by Jessica Russo.
Gorgeous lofted scoop ball with the dominant foot on her right, able to get her foot just completely under that ball, and not as much of a swing through as it was a bent knee lift up. Just a perfect, almost basketball-like three-pointer, and Kate Milroy was able to get there. Chose placement over power inside of the foot. Phenomenal finish.
9th minute goal, the second for Milroy. Was that a volley? Was that a half volley? Did that bounce on the turf before she hit it? My goodness, the strike was clean either way, and the pick of the goals, at least for me, that goal from Vogelbacher into the side net's nice, but that is the early pick for me.
Definitely, and after that goal from Kate Milroy and the Broncos, they do decide to make 2 substitutions. So that's something else that the Broncos coaching staff mentioned to see. Right around that 4-0 mark was exactly what they said, and immediately we have 2 substitutions. Tessa Dawson, number 8, coming in on that far sideline, that left wing, coming in for Kate Milroy, who already has a brace. And then Hannah McCormick, number 13, coming in for Olivia Infante. So keep an eye out on those substitutes to see how they grow into this match, which is already heavily weighted in favor of the Broncos.
Well, if you're Spring Hill, you mentioned those coaches come in with a plan to make the substitutions at maybe instead of certain times in the game at certain score lines, and likely did not expect, even with the struggles that the Pioneers may be facing, that it would already be 4-0 at this point in the contest. Ball put down the right side for Ronnie Ferris, who can beat the defender for pace one-on-one. Sliding the ball across the area, makes its way to the Broncos attacker, and somehow they were able to keep it out.
That was Tessa Dawson, which the ball fell to her feet. She was able to just poke it away. I don't think she was quite expecting it to fall to her in that type of a position this early into her tenure in this match. But good from her to be able to shake herself into the game, take that strike. It was on target, cleared away. Good opportunity as the Broncos have another corner taken by Reagan Downs.
And unfortunately, this is our little teeny tiny blind spot as that corner kick does come in. The delivery was not a good one. But here's Russo, who was able to run it down, put it back into the box as it is now cleared away. Still all Broncos, everything going from left to right. And the last couple minutes, they've flipped to that far side of the pitch with most of the Bronco attack.
Coming into this match, the expectation was for the Broncos to be able to extend their at-home winning record. It was 2-0 coming into this match. Or excuse me, it was 3-0 against league play. At home, it was 1-2. So they were trying to even that out, bring it back to 500 at the at-home record, and also really start to solidify and adjust their record according to their ability, as they were playing a bunch of 6A schools who subjectively are better according to history and according to strength of schedule.
And what I like for Spring Hill, and this is just kind of how things work out in certain years as you alternate opponents, they do get to play most of those big schools at home. Leavenworth, of course, maybe not necessarily the superior team, but they do come in with that 6A stripe. And it seems like Spring Hill has the good fortune, at least this season. As I mentioned, that does tend to just alternate year to year. But getting to play those bigger teams at home gives you a little extra boost, a little extra degree of comfort that you can be at your very best.
Absolutely. And something that Spring Hill definitely benefits from is this gorgeous coconut turf pitch
yes.
that I was lucky enough to have a conversation with Gary Howard, who's the athletic and activities director here at Spring Hill High School, as Vogelbacher is caught offsides there. But something that Gary Howard mentioned to me was that they had the opportunity to put this pitch in over here, and it's really helped grow not only the women's but also the men's soccer programs as it starts to almost be more of an eye-catching, because there's the purple sidelines, there's the purple in the middle with the SH, and some of these other schools that if you go to an away match for Spring Hill, they may not have a very nice even ground. It's not a perfect pitch like this one is. Some of the other schools in this conference, even in the Frontier League, they may have really long grass on an uneven pitch. It might slope on the sides, and this adds to the home field advantage. Exactly. For us, we might be standing in the wind right now.
Yep.
So we appreciate this. So it's really nice that Spring Hill is able to offer this to their student athletes.
That it absolutely is. The offside there, as Tessa Dawson was caught running down the far side, as the Broncos have gone now a couple minutes, their longest stretch of play in this match without scoring. Ferris on the right side again, one-on-one isolated with the defender, goes right past into the box. Ferris now with the cross, the P-roller comes in to the far post and goes wide.
I think another instance of a substitute not quite being ready to have that opportunity. Hannah McCormick, one of her first touches again in the attacking portion, in the keeper's box for that matter. She did well to shake herself into the match again and try to put that on target. Unfortunately, it skewed just wide of the post.
And had a couple of Spring Hill players there to boot. I believe it was Vogelbacher running slightly in front of her. Almost had the deflection. Goal kick is taken far this time, but intercepted by Isabella Ferris. McCormick spreads for Russo. Russo's already put in a magnificent cross for that fourth Broncos goal from this same right-hand side.
That time there was a bit of a miscommunication there between Ferris, Ronnie Ferris that is, and Jessica Russo, as Russo was expecting Ferris to cut back into the attack, and there wasn't quite the communication there to actually have that occur.
Ferris lofted ball into the area. A bit too centrally located, though, as the keeper deals with it.
Keep an eye on number 38, Katie Goings, for the Pioneers, as she is playing this left fullback on the near side. You see her take a knee now. She was taken down off the ball. She was trying to apply that defensive pressure. She may have rolled her ankle or something along those lines. I don't want to speculate or anything, but she, acknowledging her own pain, has chosen to go down here, and we will likely see a substitution.
So with the injury, we will take a brief break, as I thought I saw Goings actually colliding with a teammate and then taking a tumble on the play. But either way, we'll take a brief break and be right back here. 24-18, 4-0 Broncos. They lead big over the Pioneers here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your local Bobcat mower dealer. Bobcat mowers combine heavy gauge steel with advanced engineering to give you the best cut every time. Simple controls and design make maintenance and service quick and easy. And when you get your Bobcat at Hers, they can complete all service and repairs covered by your warranty. Bobcat mowers are affordable, giving you a commercial grade machine at a residential price. To learn more,
come and visit us at hersinc.net. Call Hers at
913-247-3530.
Well, drop ball, as Katie Goings was able to walk off the field of her own power, unassisted completely, which we do, of course, like to see. But meanwhile, the Broncos, well, they haven't scored in about 6 minutes here, and as I mentioned, by far the longest stretch scoreless in this game. Defense just about able to clear that one away, send it back where it came from, as Sarah Ward, the sophomore defender, doing the business. Crossing chance for the Broncos. It is put into the box. Free in the middle is Ronnie Ferris. Now for Vogelbacher. Vogelbacher looking for space. Finds McCormick. Tried to put it in at the near post, but it was smothered by the keeper. Nice run of a play now for the Leavenworth goalie, as she's made several stops at that near post.
It's a great opportunity there and awesome awareness between those Broncos attackers. Tessa Dawson, the substitute, able to send a pretty strong cross in. Ronnie Ferris did a nice job to cushion the ball down into the turf and then center it for Vogelbacher, who eventually acknowledged McCormick's positioning, laid it off to her on the right side before it was eventually saved by Leavenworth.
And on that sequence, Veronica Ferris knew that she would have been offside had she pursued the ball, elected to let it roll. And that allowed the Broncos to regain possession. Here is McCormick running through, but the first touch just gets away from her.
McCormick just not quite warmed into the match yet. She's been a substitute who came in, so obviously they're going to take a little bit of extra time to adjust into the match, especially a game that is already as underway as a 4-0 one is in this case. So it'll take her a second to adjust, but as she gets her sea legs under her.
So much space for McCormick between the midfield and the defensive line, as she kind of has that furthest forward midfield role too. She just finds herself almost completely alone anytime she's bursting into the box.
Absolutely.
Offside, the call there against Vogelbacher. Vogelbacher, the goal coming in the 8th minute. Goals coming for Milroy, 1st minute, 9th minute. Ferris in the 3rd. And Vogelbacher in the 8th, a flurry of early goals in the first 10 minutes for the Broncos. Have not completely emptied the bench either. Have only made what they would consider perhaps their typical substitutions, yet the intensity has dropped here just a little bit. Pioneers back to the keeper. Heavy touch, but collects it safely.
Following the second goal from Spring Hill, Leavenworth did make a substitution in their center back positioning. They did pull off Bogoshba, and they put in another defensive player in that role. Hopefully someone with a little bit more pace, I believe, is what they were looking to put in there, trying to keep with the legs of Vogelbacher.
That was kind of down that right side, that right center channel is where the Broncos really were focusing their attack in those opening minutes. Here's another ball down the right side. Ferris chasing, but it is going to be booted to the keeper as Vogelbacher tried to get it.
It's good positioning by Aviles there for Leavenworth, able to get in between Ferris and the ball and then trailing it back to her keeper.
Rousseau, I believe, maybe took that throw in too quickly. No, substitution was going to be made by the Broncos.
Gracie Oppo coming in, number 15 for Peyton Vogelbacher. Oppo was a player that they definitely highlighted last season. She hasn't quite been able to warm into this season quite like she did last season, so the coaching staff definitely looking to give her some opportunities in the attacking run of play because she definitely was a star in the past, hoping to shine her up a bit here against a team that may not be up for the challenge.
Throw in to the Pioneers. As you see Veronica Ferris, these past couple plays here on the near side, just playing with that offside line. Ball here collected up to McCormick, and they're going to look for Ferris again, who did manage to stay onside. Here comes Veronica Ferris into the box, has support in the center. Ferris waited until the last moment and had the shot saved as the keeper was bearing down in that 6-yard box.
They are definitely trying to feed Ferris as frequently as possible, trying to get her back up to the position where the coaching staff believes she can be at. Certainly was most obviously something that was mentioned in the locker room before this match was feed Ferris, feed Ferris, feed Ferris.
And a bouncing corner comes in, collected at the near post by the keeper. It is going to be rolled out, an opportunity here for the Pioneers to counter.
The other substitution that was made when Gracie Oppo came in was Molly Murray coming off and Kenna Riles coming in at that left fullback spot.
And here comes Gracie Oppo, stayed on the last shoulder, dribbling around the keeper, and the touch got away from her. Just felt that pressure from the last defender. It was Alice Maddox who was on her back and caused the miss.
And that is the shimmer right there that the coaching staff was making sure that they want to try to polish up. Oppo still having a bit of cobwebs, coming off of another sports season, trying to shake herself back into the mindset of soccer.
And on that occasion, do the hard part. And now you just had to do the easy bit. Was not expecting a recovery player after beating the goalkeeper with that last dribble. And just felt that pressure on her back, causing her to miss with the weaker left foot. Goal kick will be taken short. That has been dangerous throughout for the Pioneers, but either way, they've barely maintained possession whatsoever here during the first half.
Absolutely. Alex, speaking of that goal kick, there was recently a change in the rules of the sport. I'll wait.
Here's Ferris once again on the right side. The shot is once again saved, and it just seems like we've seen Leavenworth make this same save from the right side of the box, shooting at that near post over and over these past couple minutes.
I certainly wish we had the name of number 00 in net for Leavenworth.
Yes.
She started off a little rusty. She's really started to wear into this match, and now it's starting to fit her quite nicely, having a couple of really nice blocks and saves on Ferris and the other attackers pushing in on her from this right side.
And that ball was deflected, which means no offside for Gracie Oppo, but ultimately not able to collect possession. Here comes Dawson. Dawson beating the defender for pace. Now with some space near the byline, turns and enters the box. Shot comes in, is tipped and missed at the far post by Veronica Ferris. Looked like she was going for the header, might have just bounced over her. And nobody able to turn that one in. There was a mass of bodies at the far post, but certainly it was Veronica Ferris for the Broncos who had the best chance at it.
As we get ready for this other goal kick that's about to occur, Alex, I was going to ask you a question. Recently, in this past break in between the international seasons, there was a rule change in the law of soccer. You noticed that both of the center backs for Leavenworth were standing within the keeper's box. In last season and every season before that, it was illegal in the laws of the game for a player who isn't taking that goal kick to be within the confines of the keeper's box. Now the law is a player can be there, and as soon as they touch the ball in a pass from the keeper on a goal kick or from whoever's taking that goal kick, the attacker can immediately press into the box, whereas otherwise they had to wait until a connection was made with a player outside the box.
Well, the box is free game now as Russo explodes into it, but illegally so, as she's deemed offside. It actually may have been the previous pass that could have been offside, not sure, but
So after all that juxtaposition and explanation of prepping you for this question, do you like that rule change? Do you think that the sport is better off for that change, or do you wish that they had sort of kept it the way it was?
I do. I like, personally, I do like the possession play, and so that means I don't mind when they take it short, when they try to build from the back, whether that be at this level, whether that be at the higher levels of the game. And so I certainly think if that is going to come into fashion, you need to give the defending players an equal chance as well, and I think that's what they do by changing when they are allowed to pressure into that 6-yard box. So I like it. I think it favors technical possession-based teams. That's what I personally enjoy watching in general, is a skillful technical play. So I think that just grows that aspect of the game.
That is totally fair, and I know that from the opposing side of it, a lot of people may not be a fan of it as they feel that it slows the game down. It goes against the tradition of the beautiful game, you know. So I can understand both sides of it.
Bad. Any change
exactly.
Bad, yeah.
It's like the conversation of electronic umpires in baseball that occurred way maybe 10 years ago in the MLB.
And could they eventually have electric linesmen here in this sport? I don't know, but it's certainly been an active linesman here on our near side as the Broncos have been pressuring throughout this first half, especially with Ferris. It's always more interesting to watch when you can actually see that winger look over to the linesman standing very close and kind of understand their own positioning a little better. That's what Ferris has kind of done progressively as she's now on the bench.
Definitely.
Nice run through here for Infante down the center, keeper first to it. And again, you mentioned it. We're seeing that more and more in this first half. Keeper coming out to collect those chances before they even turn into shot attempts.
In those 3 substitutions there from, not to completely spur us in a different direction,
you're good.
That was a good point about the keeper coming out and starting to grow into this match. But Gracie Oppo is shifted onto this near side, the right wing for the Broncos. Vogelbacher comes back in place of Veronica Ferris, who is now having a conversation with Coach Schwartz, likely still building that game plan, finding other spots on the pitch in those different holes in that back line for her to expose. Tessa Dawson also left the match and was replaced by Kate Milroy. The other player who was subbed off was Isabella Ferris, and she was replaced by Olivia Infante.
So with Milroy returning to this one, of course, number 1, the kind of left wing role right now, as we'll have to pause that one. Infante running through one-on-one. Left-footed shot is saved. Still alive, though, for the Broncos. A powerful strike is off the mark from the top of the box. That was Reagan Downs trying to get on the score sheet.
Downs, the Broncos' free kick specialist, has proven time and time again this season and last season that she has a cannon on both legs, but most specifically on her left. That shot easily could have sailed in on her day. Maybe that first strike wasn't the one, but she is certainly going to warm up that shooting boot as this match wears on.
So you see one of the 2 center backs right now for the Pioneers in the box as they plan to, I believe, take this one short.
Vogelbacher with some nice pressure. Not quite able to capitalize on that misstep from Leavenworth, but great opportunity there with that heavy press.
And you see the passing just not connecting for the Pioneers. Coming up in about 12 minutes, the Michael Grand Farm Bureau Financial Halftime Show will break down the goals and preview the second half of action, maybe preview some of the substitute faces you may see here in the second half of this one as the Broncos continue to roll. Haven't scored those since the opening 10 minutes, of course. They'd be just fine ending this game with this scoreline, though coaching staff may wonder about the effort levels were that to be the case. Here is a nice cross into the middle. It's loose and converted. Easy shot, easy goal. Gracie Oppo makes it 5-0 Broncos.
And that is Oppo's first polish opportunity of this match. She's finally back on the score sheet after the what seems like forever from her standards off of it. Finally back on that score sheet, back in the good graces of the ball. She will look to continue adding to her tallies as this game continues to grow.
So Milroy on a hat trick in the left wing position right now as Vogelbacher collects it right off the restart. Vogelbacher slots it in and makes it 6-0.
That is just a great opportunist's goal right there. A classic number 9, a striker ready in any opportunity. Reagan Downs able to pounce on an errant pass, sending that forward into the line of Vogelbacher, who is already towing those center backs and able to convert just in front of the keeper.
Well, they came in bunches for Milroy and Vogelbacher early, 8th and then 9th minute goals, and now 28th and 29th minute goals for Gracie Oppo and Peyton Vogelbacher. Just as I was going into my bit about Kate Milroy being on a hat trick, that's when Vogelbacher decided to sprint down the center for the Broncos. She is now also on a hat trick, may get a chance to finish it off here, but the shot is off the mark, was looking for that top corner.
I spoke about Downs' left foot cannon. Let's talk about Vogelbacher's right foot cannon. That was an absolute rocket off of her foot. If that's on target, that is rattling the bottles in the top right corner of that net, this near side. Luckily for the Leavenworth goalkeeper, she didn't have to get her hands in front of it because that one would have stung.
Already 6 goals to the good for the Broncos. Mentioned that final scoreline against DeSoto, a team the Broncos tied 3-3, a team that Leavenworth fell to by a final of 9-0. Action on the near side. It's crossed into the middle, but eventually defended successfully, or maybe spoke too soon there as the Broncos regained possession. Infante the pass, and the shot coming in is batted away.
Reagan Downs with a nice left-footed effort. Oppo, as she pushed into this corner flag on the near side, you may have heard some O's or some oohs from the away fans as they watched as their player was muscled to the ground off the ball. Again, a number that doesn't quite correlate with our sheets. Otherwise, we would give you that player name.
My goodness. Here we go. A short cross taken. This is not offsides. Couple players confused. Shot coming in, and it was a bit too high. Kind of awkward positioning there between a shot and a cross, and it bounces harmlessly out. It'll be Pioneers to restart us.
Looking at the communication on this pitch for the Broncos, there's a lot of really good conversation, and it's all coming back to Peyton Vogelbacher. She's definitely taken on that role of a leader down here. Even though she doesn't have that captain's armband on, she has most certainly been the most vocal player in the attack, conversing with players after she tries to combine with them, be that Ronnie Ferris down the right side, and after that corner kick, she had a conversation with Downs.
Russo, beautiful move into the box, and Milroy just missed the kick. Still alive for her, but collected by the keeper. 2 players on hat tricks could have gotten on to the end of that one. Vogelbacher in the middle, and then Milroy on that far left side is another very tempting cross put in by Russo from the right side.
That was a really smart and heads-up play there from Vogelbacher to be aware of Kate Milroy's positioning, leaving that one for her, hoping to catch the keeper off guard a little bit there. Unfortunately for Milroy, not able to have quite as clean of a connection as she wanted.
Brooke Powell, nice run forward, delivers the ball for Oppo, who had strayed into an offside position. That was a beautiful break up the field, though, by Brooke Powell. One of the senior captains on this side, leaders of this back line, she and Mackenzie Hood, obviously maybe not getting as much offensive or defensive action as they might typically see. So that certainly makes a defender itchy to get on the ball, head the other way with it.
And as a center back, you almost welcome a little bit of this easier match in terms of not as much pressure is being put on them to have to make those big plays, as we've seen Powell and Hood be able to do earlier in this season. Powell that time, just as you said, itching a little bit, wanting to get on that ball, wanting to press into the attack.
And Vogelbacher, unfortunately, just offside. It's a player running down that near side. I believe it was Ferris who, correct that, it was Gracie Oppo who was onside on the near side, did not receive the ball. 6 goals to the good. They've come in bunches. A double salvo in the 28th and 29th minute after the blitz in the first 10 provided the first 4 Bronco goals.
Looking at this match from a Leavenworth perspective, Alex, if you are the Leavenworth head coach going into halftime, what are some things that you are making mental notes of, trying to figure out how to bring this Pioneers team back into this match? What is your halftime speech going to be to let them know that wasn't our best half, but we could still take something away?
Well, here comes Milroy, as we'll put a brief pause on that. Milroy on the hat trick, rolls it through and puts it in. We'll be headed home with the match ball. Kate Milroy adds the 3rd goal to her first half hat trick here in the 34th minute.
Kate Milroy, I bumped into her in the hallway of Spring Hill High School. I'm not a student, but I do work around the building and in the district, so occasionally I'm in the school. I had a conversation with Kate Milroy, and every time I see her, I say, Kate, are we going to win? Are you going to score? And are we going to win? And every time she says, yes, I'm going to try, and yes. And here today, she has absolutely done all 2 of those points and all 3 of those statements that I have brought up with her every time. So not saying it's me, but I will take a little bit of credit for helping her think ahead.
In terms of Leavenworth, you see this defensive line is just so high up the field on the transitional play. Here is Oppo. Does get it around the keeper. Now will need to cross it, and that is some more good defending for the Pioneers. Two things, though. The defensive line in transition needs to drop much deeper. We just saw in that exchange right there, for some reason, even though they've been defending all game, that back line for the Pioneers was sucked right up at the halfway line. And then that midfield also needs to drop deeper. I know that might be counterintuitive. Obviously, you're losing. At this point, it becomes how do we kind of maintain our structure and just play better in the second half rather than, like, let's turn around this 7-0 deficit, which doesn't seem likely. But in terms of that, drop that midfield a bit deeper, as we saw the likes of McCormick, even Vogelbacher when she drops deep sometimes, finding just tons of space. When those defenders finally do retreat, there's nobody in between. Run all the way through here for Mackenzie Hood, who could not quite convert it. Those center backs are going to want to get on the score sheet as this one continues on. Russo across into the box. It's free in the center, and it's absolutely shanked. The left foot of Infante not up to the task.
I completely agree with your points about Leavenworth's defensive structure and how that back four really needs to shift back and be a back four. Mm-hmm. You see, even now, they're still pushing up, which is what you want to see. You want to see them move that defensive line, that not the line of confrontation, but that offsides line. You want to see them push that as far up as you can. But if we were to look at the defenders right now, they were not in a straight line. There's a fullback who's behind the center backs, and
you see them moving up right now. They're moving up as the Broncos are also moving up with the ball. That's what this kind of opportunity creates. Here is Vogelbacher all alone in the box, and Vogelbacher now completes the hat trick, makes it 8-0 Broncos in the 36th minute. So make it 8th minute, 29th minute, and 36th for Vogelbacher, who becomes the second Bronco forward with a hat trick in this contest.
Great work there from Vogelbacher, and she has most certainly gotten her revenge on Thursday's match where she was pulled out of it due to the piercing. Tonight, no piercing, no problem for Peyton Vogelbacher, as she has certainly made her mark on this match.
Has been the focal point at the center, dropping deep, pushing that back line as well as she did on that occasion. Here comes Russo. Could there be more here for the Broncos before halftime? Just 3 minutes remain. Nice cross into the area is taken and shot right through the keeper. Reagan Downs gets on the score sheet, and we're going to see these center backs really marauding forward here, maybe just taking up different positions in that midfield. But that one blasted right through the keeper.
That was a phenomenal awareness from the right fullback on this near side, Jessica Russo, number 6. She had the awareness to see the run of Downs as she barreled into the attack, preparing to split the center backs. Russo sent that ball perfectly, leading Downs into the attacking third, and just clinical finish with the cannon from Downs.
Final piece for Leavenworth. You can't let the heads drop. It seems like all these goals do come in bunches. And right after they concede is when they look most likely to do so again. Here is Hood this time, putting the shot on target, and it will result in a corner.
You can tell number 12, the captain, one of the captains, Mackenzie Hood, the center back, most certainly, as you mentioned, itching to get her name onto this score sheet.
And you see your other senior center back captain just did that. Hey, that just amplifies that even more.
Absolutely. Broncos with a couple of substitutions here, likely some freshmen making their way onto the pitch. As the coaching staff mentioned and highlighted a few freshmen on this varsity roster who they are looking to give some opportunities.
Bouncing ball in the area, defended at least initially by the Pioneers, as the ball will be booted out the side.
One of those freshman attackers who just came in was Eula Barnett, number 21, the long blonde hair, rushing in towards the ball right now as it's about to be thrown in.
Vogelbacher in for Williams. One of the other freshman substitutes, here we go, is Vogelbacher with the cross this time. back for Vogelbacher. Looking for a better position. Already has the hat trick herself. And will try again with Kate Milroy, who now has 4 first-half goals to her name.
What a phenomenal cutback that was from Vogelbacher to Milroy, and the awareness of Downs to leave that ball. She easily could have had it with her left, but she said, no, I'm going to leave this for my teammate, Kate Milroy. The communication, the positioning, the structure of this Broncos team is in peak form right now.
So Milroy's 4th goal coming in the 38th minute, coming up in just about 1 minute. Your halftime show, your Michael Grant Farm Bureau financial halftime show, will be doing a lot of recapping. We'll highlight our 2 hat trick heroes here. 4 goals for Milroy, 3 for Vogelbacher, as the Pioneers have simply been put to the sword here in the first half.
The Broncos have done a really nice job of really starting to bring their mentality back with this game. It could have been really easy to let the ego seep into the mindset before this match and expect to win, expect things to go your way. But the Broncos have done a nice job of not letting their foot off the gas in this first half, really starting to put the pressure down, even with the substitutions of the freshmen coming in and of those borderline varsity players coming into this match. They've done a nice job of lifting all boats and getting all boats to rise.
And you do see the Broncos just kind of taking that foot off the gas finally here in these last couple moments. But anytime they do advance, it seems like they're past that first line of defenders as the first half does expire. 10-0, the Broncos lead over the Pioneers. Spring Hill leads over Leavenworth. It's been a big offensive output here for Spring Hill. We'll break it down all for you next, coming up on the halftime show. You're watching Spring Hill Girls Soccer on Spring Hill Sports Live. So we have been informed here that 10-0 does in fact result in a mercy rule end of game scenario. So with that, the Broncos will actually improve here to 4-3-1. Did not see that on the cards. Of course, that 10th goal coming at a moment kind of just before the end of the first half. So that'll make your nights a little bit easier, Spring Hill fans, especially with this game starting quite a bit later than we expected, with some mayhem going on the JV side. 10-0 Broncos. Again, I'm Alex Smith here with Tristan Jordan, Caden Carbajo, bringing you an impromptu post-game show here, as this one only goes to last 40 minutes. So this post-game is brought to you by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Kansas City's premier and auto collision repair center. They work with all insurance companies and can get you back on the road in no time. To learn more, visit them online at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095. Well, Tristan, we spent some time talking about what the Pioneers might have to do in the second half of this contest. Didn't end up having that second half as Spring Hill just kind of fired on all cylinders. Really could have had this be 12 or even 13-0 here, as there were even more chances for Spring Hill Broncos in this one.
Absolutely. And something to look at is the history of this game. We've already spoken about the attacking prowess and the mentality changes and the midfield adjustments and all of the amazing things that the Broncos have done in this match, because there were just a flurry of goals. And as you mentioned, there could have been more. Going into the final moments of this match, number 14, Olivia Infante for the Broncos, had an opportunity to push into that final third, but showed the sportsmanship. She cut it back, laid it off to Vogelbacher, who trailed it back to Powell, really showing that sportsmanship and just maintaining possession for the feigning 30 seconds. But if we want to look at the past between this matchup, last year on this date, these two teams faced off. And what was the result, Alex? It was the exact same. It was a 10-0 mercy rule last year, same day, same time. It doesn't matter with this Broncos team. If they are meant to win a game, they will do so. That's something we've been discussing over and over again about them in the Frontier League and how they're expected to win the Frontier League. No questions asked. They're a bigger school. They're a 5A against 4As in the league. But you see, with the coach Schwartz, he's pushing them against 6A teams like Leavenworth, like Blue Valley North, like Blue Valley, etc., etc. So Eric Schwartz sees the potential for this team, and he doesn't want them to play in matches where they're expected to win because he knows that they will do that. He wants these players to be challenged. He wants them to have those mental hardships that can force that mentality to grow and to develop over time.
So again, summarizing the goal scorers here, 4 goals for Kate Milroy, the first of the contest, scoring in the first minute, the 9th, the 34th, and the 38th, all important 10th goal as Milroy actually ends up bookending the scoring for Spring Hill. And then a 3rd-minute goal for Ferris, just one there. Gracie Oppo, 28th minute. Reagan Downs, 37th minute. And the other hat-trick hero of this one, number 20, Peyton Vogelbacher, scoring in the 8th, the 29th, and 36th minute. Again, if you're just tuning in, maybe expecting some halftime coverage, this one is final. 10-0 Broncos over the Leavenworth Pioneers here at Spring Hill Activity Center. Thanks for tuning in with us. For my buddies Tristan Jordan, Caden Carbajo, I am Alex Smith saying so long here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
You've been watching Spring Hill High School Sports on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by and be sure to catch every second of the action right here on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.